Bismillah, Adaman, Adahim, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, Iyaka na'budu, or Iyaka nasta'in. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all's day and tried to make the best out of y'all's day. I hope you learned something today. You should be learning something every day. You are, whether you notice or not. Or what's good to know is who you are and whose you are. And it's also good to know who the enemy is. The Bible says, your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Do you know how to identify him? Or many of y'all, you mistake your friends for enemies. And some of y'all got your enemies mistaken as friends. Some of y'all got things and a whole bunch of other things that you be messing with that you don't know how to identify as a tool or resource of Satan. Alright. You must know how to identify the enemy, how he'll try to come at you through many ways, various ways as he can. That's supreme. Where you want to know who you are, whose you are, and you want to know who the enemy is. If you know these three things, you're going to do just fine. Alright, let's pick up where we left off in Message to the Black Man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, peace be upon the dear apostle. Word. Message to the Black Man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We on page 215. Alright. We're in the title of the persecution of the righteous. The chapter called, that's what the chapter called. It got a sub-chapter though, like a note on the jump. It's a right to peaceful assembly denied to so-called American Negroes. The right to peaceful assembly denied to so-called Negroes. Alright. When black people start meeting up or whatever, they don't really like that, you know. But or stand up. Dear brothers, in the nation of Islam, and especially my people here in America, where live the worst enemies of Islam and of the peace of the world. Alright. Apostle, you're right. He said, here in America is our worst enemies. This is their own. Word. And the worst enemies of peace of the world. It should now be clear to you, after the attacks that have been made upon us and are still being made by the brutal American police forces with FBI harassment and persecution, that Allah has manifested the white race of America to be nothing but a race of devils. Not all of them, but it's a fact though. The majority of the people, the shoes fit. Like I say, not all white people bad, but not all of them good. Not all black people bad. Not all of them good. Yeah, colored man, you the people of God by choice. But because of your ignorance, you acting like a devil. Can't even call you the people of God. You are by choice, but by circumstance, you acting like a devil. You killing, robbing, raping your own people. You shouldn't be doing this. This is not your nature. We wasn't doing this in slavery. We wasn't killing, raping, or murdering our own people in slavery. How come y'all doing this now? You got colors? You gang banging? You gang banging on your brother because of a color? Some places you can't wear a certain color. You gonna kill your brother because he got on a blue shirt or a red shirt, a white flag or red flag. White people got flags all the time when they working and they don't give a damn about none of that crap. But y'all gonna kill somebody over a damn color. You got the same color brown skin. You need to you want to solve a fraction. You get to the least common denominator. All right, man, y'all tripping. You gonna kill somebody? Listen, they killed us and our friends with this, bro. Listen, man, y'all stop tripping, bro. Y'all stop tripping. Overlook everything. Just accept the fact. You fell into the white man's trap. That's what you in, ain't it? You on a trap. You gang banging. You got years of history. These people doing this and doing this to this, man. I don't like them niggas, this and that, bro. Listen, that's your brother, man. Alright, you got tricked to hating your brother. I mean, now this is the consequence of many people, this and that. I gotta get out that thought. You got colors, you got drugs, you got this, you got that. Bro, in slavery days, y'all was not raping each other, killing each other, robbing each other. Black man, why y'all doing this to each other? What's wrong? How come y'all free and acting worse than y'all is when y'all was in slavery? What's going on? Can't you see who infiltrated your mind? What infiltrated your mind? You eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is knowledge of Satan himself. That's what God commanded Adam not to eat from. Well, coincidentally, we do the same thing to this day. Listen to what I'm saying. We are forbidden by Allah to carry weapons. It is well known that this is our rule. No armed person is to sit in our meetings, and because of this rule, we have been successful in enjoying a peaceful assembly wherever we have gone. But it has again been made clear by the hostile act of the Flint, Michigan Police Department against our peaceful assemblage. The devils do not respect anyone's peace. Me personally, I believe in it. I believe in I know God, my Father, protect me. I believe in it. I just also know this world that we in. And these people slick. Yeah. The people are strong. They in groups. You know what I mean? Alright. It's strength in numbers. If you ain't got many numbers, it's a net. You know what I mean? But I do believe that. Like I do believe that. And I do like that movement of not really wanting to have weapons around. But at the same time, in this world we live in, these wicked people. You know what I mean? A person got a right to defend themselves. But let's keep on reading. I'll come back to that. Because of this, we shall never again permit white people to sit in our meeting, armed or unarmed. This does not include the Turkish people, Chinese, Japanese, Filipinos, those of Pakistan, Arabs, Latin Americans, Egyptians, and those of other Asiatic Muslims and non-Muslim nations. All Black Americans or non-whites are welcome to our mass meeting. We will soon make a try at converting and uniting all the originals of this Western Hemisphere. All Black Americans, even those who have a few drops of black blood in them, must unite under the crescent and try to save ourselves from the doom of the enemies who have ruled and killed us for the past 4,000 years. And especially during the last 400 years. For they have covered the earth and sea with their death-dealing rule over the aboriginals of the earth since they left the confines of Europe. And now, to their latest outrage in Flint, Michigan, there on October 27th, 1963, the police department harassed us for 3 hours in order to enter our meeting, fully armed inside an auditorium filled with peaceful, unarmed people. This proves beyond a shadow of doubt that there is no justice nor peace for our black people in America, whether they be Christians or Muslims. We have rented this public auditorium in Flint to teach the so-called Negro of the presence of Allah, of the judgment of the devils, and of the separation of the two peoples, black and white. Approximately 6,000 people, including 200 or 300 devils, had submitted to being searched for arms and other possessions that might be against the peaceful assembly. A black policeman had entered, but had surrendered his arms. Later on, however, two white officials appeared, claiming that their law compels them to go into all public meetings armed and that their weapons were not to be given up. They insisted on coming in with their arms, and upon the right to overrule those who would oppose their entering. I left in the midst of my lecture. I went to the door to speak with the haters of the so-called Negroes. I told them that if they wanted to come in to do as their white brothers had done, that is, give up their weapons until dismissal. And if anyone acted other than peacefully in our meetings, we would surely let them know and they could arrest them. But this was not enough. They continued to demand entrance without being disarmed. I therefore dismissed the meeting. I could have called their bluff, but there were too many women and children in the audience. Their record of unprovoked evil attacks against our people is a long and vicious one. The attacks began in Detroit, Michigan in 1932, 33, and 34, and from there to Chicago, Illinois, April 1935, and down to the attack on the murder of the Muslims in Los Angeles, California, in April 27, 1962. Even under the laws of America, brutal police forces beat black people and deprive them of simple justice, including those who are in prison at the present time and those who are being sent to prison throughout the country. Untold thousands are being held in prison unjustly, falsely. Well, I'm telling you this now, man, bro. And whether people know about it or don't know about it, y'all evil, wicked bastards gonna pay one day. Whether people know about it or don't know about it, y'all evil, wicked bastards are gonna pay one day. Right. And God not gonna have mercy on your souls. Right. So hey, if you wish to keep on doing this and doing all that, and think this and that, alright. You might get away with it for a little while, but you don't get away with nothing. You might make it to see 80 or 90, or let it be 100 in your old mansion or whatever, by your damn self. You're going somewhere one day, buddy. And best believe whenever you get there, if God real, which I believe is real, because you see Satan clearly working. If God real, which I believe he is real, well, the Lord said he's going to punish those who made it hard for the people. Eternity is a lifetime. You think going through 400 years or something, eternity a lifetime. Whether you listen or don't listen, hey, you ain't gotta listen to me. You gotta listen to G-O-D. And when he speaks, what you gonna do? Shut the hell up and get the hell on and take your sentence rightfully, as you unjustly try to give out sentencings to many people. May you reap what you sow 1,000-fold, as the Bible that y'all love to read and misquote says. I'm talking to these evil, wicked, sick ass authorities. Not all of them bad, but anyone in authority. Anyone in authority. Yeah, whether people know or don't know. God knows, and He see. Word. God knows every single thing. There's not one place you can hide. You can't build a spaceship and blast off. You can't hide in the holes. You can go to church all you want to go to church and act nice, talk sweet, this and that or that. And masquerade as an angel just like Satan do. As the Bible says, Satan masquerade as an angel of light. Try to act all nice and sweet. You got 400 years on your hand of blood. The hell are you talking about? You got 400 years, and to this very day, these people still doing crazy things. There's a lot of people in jail unjustly. Hey, you ain't gotta listen to me. You gotta listen to God one day. You would have wished you would have heard somebody and maybe turned your course around. Because when you get to speak, when He speak to you, it ain't no this and that. Eternity, my boys. Yeah. You just gotta deal with it, as we was dealing with it on here. I love the fact that we go through it right here on earth. Hey, I'd rather go through it and get it out the way. Get mine out the way now, you know what I mean? Then get out the way later on, because later on, there ain't no getting out the way. That's forever. Right. From what I read and what I hear. Right. Yeah. Muslim prisoners are making court appeals against false charges in Monroe, Rochester, New Orleans, Attica, Dannemora, in upstate New York, and Massachusetts. The Muslims unjustly charged with attacking the police department and a peaceful assembly have appealed. The right of self-defense is what the title said. The right of self-defense is what the title said. The so-called Negroes of Birmingham, Alabama, would have been justified by the law of justice if they had killed every dog sick upon them by the hired tax-paid policemen, for the taxpayers did not hire dogs to police their lives and property. And if the policeman had fired upon those who defended themselves against the bites of savage dogs that the police department trained expressly for the purpose of attacking so-called Negroes, they would have been justified by God and the divine law of self-defense to fight and defend themselves against such savage dog and human attack. Surely the American so-called Negroes would have God and world sympathy on their side if they would take the right steps or actions. The present actions being taken by them are wrong, for this action consists of demanding that the slave master accept their slaves, the so-called Negroes, as their equals, and as equals shares in whatever the master has, such as social respect, which will destroy both as a people, an equal share in the government, decent housing conditions, and equal employment. Not that they do not deserve it. No master of anything can accept an unequal as his equal. The law of nature is divinely respected. If they, Martin Luther King and his followers, would accept the right way, which is the belief in Allah as God and Islam as a religion, and demand a place on this earth for our 20 million or more people that they can call their own, I would demand that every one of my followers join forces in a minute. And if what they are asking for would be granted Oh, and if what they are asking for will be granted them, it would only be short-lived. Nothing permanent is in it for the so-called Negroes. It would be very foolish for a leader of 22 million once slaves to ask for temporary employment from their slave masters' children, who now use the 22 million for sport. Sicking dogs on the so-called Negroes was done only for sport. To see the frightened so-called Negroes run for their lives. But as soon as the so-called Negroes turned upon the dogs and policemen with stones, Washington, D.C. ordered the army to intervene, not to help the so-called Negroes against the white Southerners, but to help the white devils against the so-called Negroes if they had tried to defend themselves. But as long as the dogs and policemen were biting and clubbing back clubbing black so-called Negroes, it was all right. This clearly shows how much we are in dire need of unity of our enemies. This clearly shows how much we are in dire need of unity, but the unity must be backed by a power superior to the power of our enemies. This power is in Allah and the Nation of Islam, whose arms are outstretched. If we would only accept them, it is ignorant to look for heaven from the devils who only seek to take you into their doom, hellfire. Reverend King and his followers want the rights that the Constitution offers to white citizens, but they are learning the hard way that the Constitution does not apply to the black slaves with respect to the right to vote. Certainly, there is power in voting if there is justice for the so-called Negroes, but the crooked political machine of America can always keep the once slaves free slaves. Who prepares and teaches politics? Who prepares and teaches politics? Is it not the white man, the enemy of the so-called Negroes? Who will the poor so-called Negroes vote for? Would it not be for a white man or a black man whom the white man would back? Don't no black person run America. we just had a black president, Barack Obama. Dude ain't got no say so. Word. He ain't got no say so. I don't give a damn what y'all think. Dude, one man. Word. Barack Obama, dude a Muslim. Assalamu alaikum to him. And he know he can't do but so much. Word. He tried. We can only try. Word. But dude ain't got no say so. Give a damn what you talking about. Don't no black man run America. America is not a black is. Truth be told, man, America is a Caucasian civilization. They built that. When it first was started, they had slaves and stuff. That's how they view us, as slaves. Word. We ain't nothing more to them but slaves, workers, servants. That ain't worth nothing. Truth. You can't say that. We just like, you can't say that. How you gonna say this and that? You got 400 years of murdering people, raping people, killing people. We just now been set free. What are you talking about? It's 2025 until 19. Type in your phone. When was slavery ended? I'll do it since you don't want to do it. Word. When was slavery ended?
1865. According to National Archives, 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
That's all I need to hear from you.
Slavery. 1865. National Archives.
1865. I don't need the whole speech. That whole voice throwing me off a little bit. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery in 1865. But it say black people were enslaved in the U.S. until as recent as 1963. They still had slaves. True, and granted, slavery was abolished, but you forget you got the Confederate States and what's the Mother Johnson? You got the North and South that was fighting. You got it was a Confederate Army and what's the other side? There's two the other side that America was like the North side. These like the president or whatever. They didn't want slavery to end. Word, they was fighting each other. But anyway, 1965, it was still slaves around in some places. It ended in 1865, as far as by law. They didn't just get slaves up freely. What they did, like what did the Pharaoh do? When Moses went there and say, "Let the people go," he didn't want to let them go. Word, not freely. And Pharaoh had to get his ass whooped by God. That's the only way the people got let go. Well, same thing gonna happen here. Confirmation. Same thing gonna happen here. America got to get his ass whooped. Her ass whooped, his ass whooped, whatever. Whoever run America, they gonna get their ass whooped the long way. I see why they be fearful. Yeah, I see why they be fearful and be worried about people ganging up. You wanna know something that's funny? Every single trick that in trade people try to imply on y'all to get y'all gang banging against each other, y'all gang banging on each other, this and that. They trying to trick y'all, mess y'all all up, and millions of people have died because of their trickery. But guess what? Even through y'all tricks and trade, Father God still gonna make a way and repay y'all's asses. You know what I mean? If I'll put it in a term where you can understand within your own law. Let's say you got some children. Let's say you got two little kids. And your kid, and let's say you got two kids. And y'all go to the store. Alright. You got two kids. And you at Walmart. And let's say your kid at Walmart still a PlayStation. He nothing like 6 years old. Who gonna get in trouble? The kid or the parent? The parent. Because you're responsible for that child. You get what I'm saying? In y'all's own law. This is how y'all carry y'all own law. I've seen this happen many times. I've been in many stores where older people try to get little kids to steal. Because they know the children ain't going to get in trouble like that. Why? Because the parent is held accountable. In your own law, you feel this way. You think God's law gonna stand up straighter than y'all's? The Lord ain't gonna punish the children. That's a reference for these black people who out here acting feeble-minded and doing things because they don't know no better. Even if they know, they don't know no better. They never. My people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. They don't know no better. Y'all put them in this condition. God, my Father, will spare them and have mercy on a whole lot of people. God, my Father, will spare them and have mercy on a whole lot of these ignorant black people who out here murdering each other, killing each other because they fell into the trap of these evil white Caucasian people. God, my Father, will spare them. I truly believe that because he understand it ain't the children's fault, it's the damn parents' fault. You talking about the black people's parents? No. The ones who was over them. You had some evil ass parents over you. Technically they come from us, but they've been the ones who've been over y'all. Your slave masters, aka the parents who put you in this condition. They're gonna be held accountable. Take it or let it alone. Slavery was ended in 1865. It's 2025. But in 1963, it was still slaves there recently. Right. After the Civil War. 1963 is 2025. That's not a long stretch. Anyway. This clearly shows how much we are in dire need of unity, but the unity must be backed. Who prepares and teaches politics? Is it not the white man, the so-called, the enemies of the so-called Negroes? Who would the poor people vote for? Would it not be for a white man or a black man that's backed up by a white man? We could not hope for anything but more bloodshed from these people at the polls and seeking justice from crooked politicians. We are a nation and a nation. We are a nation and a nation. Why not use the 22 million people's power for their external salvation instead of temporary enjoyment with the same wicked people who murdered our people? Let us build our own political machine. Unite with me, and with the help of Allah, I will get you what you want, and I know what you want, for I am your brother. It is now time that you and I take counsel of this grief. You and I must suffer. All of these burdens we must bear. It is beyond comprehension that the American government, mistress of the seas, lord of the air, conqueror of outer space, squire of the land, and prowler of the deep bottoms of the ocean, is unable to defend us from assault and murder on the streets of these concrete jungles. The lynchers live right next door. Man, yeah. Or gotta watch these damn people. Bro, talk. The lynchers live right next door. They in your neighborhood. Word. Down the street, up the alley, yet they are not brought to justice. What sane man can deny that it is now time that you and I take counsel among ourselves to the end of finding justice for ourselves? When you stand up and speak a word in behalf of your own people, you are classified as a troublemaker. You are classified as a communist, as a race hater, and everything but good. Don't call me what y'all is. Word. You know what I mean? No, I speak truth. This brother speak truth. Yeah, you can't call me a murderer. I ain't murder nobody. You can't call me a raper. I ain't rape nobody. You can't call me a hater. I don't hate nobody. But if I see you doing stuff, if I see you doing stuff and I call out what you're doing, I ain't wrong in my judgments. Word. If I see you murder somebody and I say this, you ain't nothing but a damn murder, outright, plain and cold blood, and you do this, you happen to keep on doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. Am I wrong for calling out what the hell you doing? Don't make me wrong. You the one doing dumb crap. If you gonna doing dumb crap, I wouldn't have nothing to say. He's just a hater. He's a bigot. How the hell you gonna call me a bigot? What? We've been up on the white people for a long time. I got white friends. I love them. They ain't never did nothing to me. But there's a whole lot of people who got position of power. They still tripping. They still stalking you in your neighborhood, stalking you on everywhere they can stalk your ass at. They still raping, murder, and killing your people. They still doing these things. If you ain't doing these things, I'm not talking about you. But if you are doing these things, and the majority of y'all bastards are, hey, the shoe fit. All right, don't be mad because someone calling you out. You know what I mean? It's some females. I don't even want to use that example because that ain't a proud example. Yeah, I wouldn't want to use that example. But if you got a female and she acting harsh, like she's acting harsh. You know what I mean? She ain't trying to hide it. She knows she like that's she know like what she doing. At least she know. At least she not denying it. Versus some of y'all who acting one part, you acting like a lady, but deep down you like acting you a whore on the inside. I got more respect for the woman who at least she being honest. She like she ain't sugarcoating. Like that's what it is with her. You know, I got respect for that woman. Even though she don't got a lot of respect for herself, I respect the fact that she got enough truth to admit she got enough truth to live in what she doing. Even though it's not right. I got more respect for her than the one who acting like a woman, but deep down on the inside you a whore. Word, fake as hell. At least this one being real. At least she knows. Word, word. I respect that. Even though I don't approve of it, but I respect her truth. Word. Ain't no truth in this one. Word. You acting like one thing and doing something different. Word. That's these people. They act nice, but deep on the inside they some damn murderers, killers, robbers, and thieves. You know. I'm sorry for the expression, that example, woman. But that's I'm not. If God has revealed to me the truth of this race of people, and yourself, and I tell you of it, that is the truth. Then don't say that I'm teaching race hatred. Just say I teach the truth. The message I bring is not for cowards. Those of you who follow me must be ready to withstand the barbs and the insults of those who come to investigate, pry, and claim that our ultimate aim is to undermine the American way of life. That's what you call the American way of life? Raping, killing, murdering people 400 years? And if somebody stand up and call you out on it, that's un-American. To hell with you. Literally. Word. I ain't gonna see you there. But when you get there, word. That's what you call America. You take your American ass on. Word. Damn bastard. We have no such intentions, and our critics know it. How ironic is it that the very people who charge us with with disturbing the status quo themselves go around raping, lynching, denying citizens the right to vote, and talking in the halls of Congress to call you and me everything from a beast to an immoral entity. I have no alternative than to tell you that there is not any life beyond the grave. Well, I say you do got life for you. The honorable dear apostle, he talked a whole lot about sometime once you die, like you ain't coming back. But the Holy Quran read the Holy Quran talk a whole bunch about the afterlife. You gonna live again. The Bible talk a whole lot about the afterlife too. You gonna live again. You know, he just dealing on the basis of truth from his point of view. And he right in the sense like as far as this and that. But you gonna live again. Tell you that. Ain't no denying that. There is no justice in the sweet by and by. Immorality is now. Here, we are the blessed of God, the blessed of God, and we must exert every means to protect ourselves. It'll take me to another chapter. gonna take me to out here. It's 40 minutes. I could have stopped right there because it's gonna take me to another chapter. And I ain't got enough space to write this junk in with that. So I'm gonna stop it on that note for this. For y'all, my good Caucasian brothers, nothing against you. Or nothing against you at all. I'm talking about the evil, wicked bastards who hate truth, who raping people, killing people, murdering people, who in position of power. It ain't flesh and blood that we wrestle against, but against the evil forces, as my brother Paul said in Ephesians chapter 6. Brother Paul said, finally, be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you may take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers. Who ruling? Ain't no black people ruling. Give a damn what you're talking about. Not America. Who ruling? For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers. Who ruling? You can't say it, King. You don't want to admit it, do you? Y'all gotta stop being weak-hearted, cowardly. Stop acting like the hell y'all afraid of. Well, if you scared to speak the truth, stand up for the truth. Ain't no truth in you. To the cowardly, they gonna be thrown out into utter darkness. Alright. The Lord don't like cowards. But like I say, my good Caucasian brother, I ain't got nothing against you. Some of y'all say, word, y'all got a good heart. Some of y'all, but the majority of these people, evil, wicked, sick as hell. It's some good black people. It's some evil, wicked black people. Not by choice, but by circumstance. Y'all been, you know what I mean? You become a product of your environment, and y'all not choosing to do better. Alright, you see what I'm saying? But I'm sticking on the main ones. You want to get to the root of the problem? If I see people fighting, I don't listen. If I see people fighting, I see them fighting. But if it's the instigator, it's the instigator behind them fighting. That's the real reason. That's what I really see. Y'all see a small picture. I see the one who painted the picture for y'all to be in. Alright. Them evil, wicked bastards got to deal with it. Our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Well, who is that? The rulers, the authorities. Word. People who govern y'all, who got y'all in this situation. Can't you see? You don't see? Y'all be blessed, man. I'm gonna jump back on tomorrow. That's the end of this chapter. I think it's how many chapters left? One, two, three, four. 4 chapters left. This on page 220. Peace.